In last lecture, we have discussed about human respiratory system. In that the oxygen which was taken in our body, it is utilized by blood. Now, in today's lecture, we will understand that how flow of blood is done in our body, how the circulation of blood is done in our body. What is heart? What is function of heart? What is blood? And what are blood vessels? Okay, let's start. First of all, transportation in human beings. Transportation in human beings. So generally the transportation in human beings or the circulatory system of human being, it consists first blood, heart and different blood vessels. In today's lecture we are going to understand about this blood, heart, blood vessels, and also we will discuss about limb. Okay, now let's start from the blood. See, blood, we can understand blood in two forms. The medium of blood, that is our blood plasma, and the cells which is present in blood, that is called our blood cells. Ultimately 55% of blood is of blood plasma, and it provides the medium to transport the blood cells. The 45% is blood cells. See, this blood plasma, it will provide the medium, it's a fluid. It will provide the medium to blood cell to transport from one point to another. And in blood cells, we will have RBC, we will have WBC and platelets. We know that RBC, it is red blood cells, WBC, that is our white blood cells, and platelets, it is used in clotting of blood. Now what is function of this WBC, RBC and platelets? So generally we know that RBC, that is our red blood cell, and this red blood cell is responsible mainly for transportation. See, when we are talking about transportation, means not only there is transportation of oxygen, there is transportation of nutrients from one part of body to another part of body. There is transportation of hormones from one part of body to another part of body. There is transportation of salt from one part to another part. There is transportation of different gases from one part to another part. So RBC, it is mainly responsible for transportation, and it is only responsible for oxyhemoglobin, for formation of oxyhemoglobin, because oxygen is transported by RBCs to hemoglobin and it forms oxyhemoglobin. So the main function of RBC, that will be transportation. Second, WBC. WBC means that is our white blood cells. Now this WBC, it protects us from different disease. So they are also called soldier of our body. When any of disease, it tries to enter into our body, due to this WBC, right, we will get protection from that disease. So this white blood cells, it will fight against the disease and will protect our body. So WBCs are called soldiers of our body. And platelets, see, platelets is very much important, because when we have a cut or when we are injured, so at that time blood will flow. This platelet, it clots the blood. So after flowing little bit of blood, the blood will get clot, right? If there is less amount of platelets, so blood will not get clot, so there will be more flow of blood, which create the deficiency of blood in the body. So this platelets, it is related with clotting of blood. It is responsible for clotting of blood, for clot of blood. So blood will get clot and no more blood will flow out during any of injury. See, the red color of blood, it is due to this blood plasma and due to this RBC. So this way, blood, it is very important liquid. It is of red color. 55 percentage of blood, it's about blood plasma. The 45 percentage, it comes into blood cells. In that we will have three type of blood cells: RBC, WBC and platelets. RBC, it is red blood cell and the main function of it is transportation. WBC, that is white blood cell, and main function of it is protection of our body against different type of disease. And the platelet, it is used in clotting of blood. So when injury is done, blood will get clot, so more blood will not flow out from the body. Also, this blood have different functions, and what are the function of that blood? Let's see. Let us understand that what is function of the blood. See, first of all, blood is responsible for transportation, of different type of nutrients, right? Different nutrients are transported through blood. Blood is also responsible for transportation of excretory materials like urea, uric acid, then ammonia. So the excretory material, right, the unnecessary material which is generated in our body, it is also transported through blood from one point to another. Also, blood is responsible for transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide in our body. So main function of blood is to transport different nutrients, different excretory substance and different gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide in our body. This blood is also responsible to maintain pH of the body, and it behaves as a buffer solution. Means if there is any sudden change in acidity and basicity, so blood will behave as a buffer solution and it will try to maintain the pH level of the body, right? So to maintain pH level by behaving as a buffer solution, that is also function of the blood. Due to blood, it maintains the water level, and by maintaining the water level in our body, temperature of our body is maintained by blood, right? So to maintain the water level and to maintain the temperature of body, blood is very necessary. As we have studied that there is WBC, RBC and platelets. So due to that WBC and platelets, due to WBC, blood will give us protection against different disease. So blood, it is also responsible due to WBC which is present in it. It is responsible for protection against different type of diseases, right? So this way blood is very important fluid in our body. Now the pumping of blood, it is done by heart. Generally the circulation of blood in different type of animals, the structure of heart is different. Like if we talk about birds and animals, so they are very warm blooded because the requirement of blood in birds and animals is more, right? So they are warm blooded, so generally they will have four chambered heart, right? We as a human, we have four chambered heart. If we talk about fish, so they have just less requirement of blood, so they just by one circulation, right? So blood is sent to every part of the body, right? So they will have two chambered heart. If we talk about amphibians and reptiles, so they will have three chambered heart because it is dependent on the surrounding temperature, right? So see, different creatures have different structures of a heart. If we talk about human structure, right, how heart is there in humans. So in humans we are warm blooded, so we will have four chambered heart, right? So our next topic will be human heart. As we discussed that birds and animals have four chambered heart, right? If we talk about fishes, so they will have two chambered heart. If we talk about different amphibians or reptiles, so they will have three chambered heart. So generally the function of heart is to pump blood. Now see, in our body, if we talk about humans, so human, they have four chambered heart. So humans, they will have four chambered heart. The upper part is called atriums and the lower part is called ventricles. See, the upper part of atrium, its wall, it will be thin because it will compress at the low pressure, while the ventricles, its wall, it will be thick because they will compress with the high pressure, right? Because of low pressure of compression, and here due to high pressure of compression it will happen. We will study its structure in detail. See, human, they have a heart which is four chamber. The size of heart, it is just like a fist. It is just like a fist. Its size is just as a fist. It is located little bit at tilt and at left side, right? So its size is as fist. It is located little bit tilt at left side, and it is divided into main two parts, its left side part and right side part. Its upper parts are called atrium and the lower parts are called ventricles. The wall of atriums, that will be thin because it will contrast due to low pressure, while the lower part means the ventricles wall, it will be thick because it will get contrast with high pressure, right? So this way human heart, it is categorized, it is classified in four different sections. Two atriums, we will have two atriums. If we draw just a schematic diagram of it, so the upper parts, that will be our atriums, and the lower parts, it will be our ventricles. This is our left side, so left atrium and left ventricle. This is our right side, so right atrium and right ventricle. Now, how the blood is circulated in left atrium to right atrium, from different body parts to heart, from heart to lungs, right? So how blood is circulated from body parts to heart, hearts to lung. And actually in humans this circulation is done, means the blood has to flow 2 times from the heart, so it is also called double circulation. Let's try to understand how. From different body part, the impure blood or the deoxygenated blood, it will come first into heart. So the impure blood will come into heart, this is the first time. This impure blood, to get it pure, it will go to lungs. As it get pure in lungs, it will again come to heart, but this time it will be pure. And after it become pure, now by heart only it is sent to different part of body. So see, in this circulation, blood comes into heart twice, so that is called double circulation, right? So again, just in a short, we can understand it like this. From body part, blood will come into heart, but in this case it will be our impure blood. It will go to lungs. Here the blood will get pure. From lungs, blood, now it will go to heart, and from heart, now the blood which is pure, here the impure blood from body, it will go to heart. So this is the first time in heart. From heart it is sent to lungs to get purified. From lungs, after purifying, blood is sent to heart. So again it comes to heart, and then the blood which is pure, it is sent to different body parts. So during this circulation, blood comes twice in heart. So the circulation in human being, right, the blood circulation in human being, it is also known as double circulation. Now let us understand by the video that how blood circulation is done, right? From where blood comes into heart, what is work of arteriums, what is work of ventricles. At left side there is oxygenated blood or deoxygenated blood, at right side there is pure blood or impure blood. How from different part of body blood comes to heart, from heart how it is sent to lungs, after purifying into lungs how it is again sent to heart, and from heart how it is sent to different parts of body. Let's understand it. Here we can see that, as we discussed, that our heart, it is divided into 4 chambers. Left side and right side. See, the upper part of heart, it is known as atrium, and the left side of upper part, that is called left atrium. Similar, the right side of upper part, that is called right atrium. Same way, the lower part of heart is called ventricle, and left side of lower part, that is called left ventricle, and the right side of lower part, that is called right ventricle. Now as it is divided into left side and right side, right? So the flow of blood at left side, there is always pure blood at left side, while at right side there is flow of impure blood. Now how to remember this? See, pure has less alphabets. Similarly, left also has less alphabets, right? So pure, less alphabet, left also less alphabet. Impure have more alphabets, so right, it also have more alphabets. Or oxygenated has less alphabet, so it will be at left side, and deoxygenated has more alphabet, so it will be at right side. So this way, at left side there will be flow of pure blood, while at right side there will be flow of impure blood or deoxygenated blood. Now let's try to understand that how flow of blood is done in heart? Okay, first of all, from our body, the impure blood, here we will indicate the impure blood with the black color. Impure blood from our body, from upper side, it enters through vena cava into right atrium. Similarly, the blood from lower body part also, it enters through vena cava in right atrium. Here in right atrium, the deoxygenated blood or the impure blood is stored. Now when the right atrium, it get contrast, right, so that impure blood, it enters into the lower part, that is our right ventricle. So here the impure blood from right atrium, it enters into right ventricle. Now from this right ventricle, when the ventricle will get contrast, it will pass through pulmonary arteries to lungs, and here in lungs that blood will get purified. Okay, so this way from different part of the body, the deoxygenated blood, it enters into right atrium. As the right atrium get contrast, it comes into right ventricle, and from right ventricle through pulmonary arteries, it is sent to lungs. Now in lungs where the pure blood is there, so how it will flow in heart? So see here, pure blood we will indicate with the red color. So from lungs, the pure blood by pulmonary veins into left atrium. Here in left atrium, the pure blood is stored. Now when the left atrium will get contrast, it will enter into left ventricle. So here in left ventricle, the oxygenated blood or the pure blood will be present. From this, the pure blood by aorta, it is sent to different part of body, right? So this way the pure blood from lungs, it enters into left atrium. From left atrium, when it get contrast, it will enter into left ventricle, and from left ventricle it is sent to different body part through aorta. So similarly, just revise it quickly. The impure blood from vena cava enters into right ventricle, right atrium. From right atrium, it enters into right ventricle, and from right ventricle it is sent to get pure in lungs. Right? Now the oxygenated blood from lungs through pulmonary vein, it is sent to left atrium. From left atrium to, when it contrasts left atrium, it will go to left ventricle, and from left ventricle through aorta, through it is sent to different parts of body, right? So this way flow of heart is done. Simple. It is clear that from the video that at left side pure blood, at right side impure blood. Pure means here pure means oxygenated blood, and here impure means deoxygenated blood, right? So simple, we studied from vena cava. Which type of blood? Impure blood. It will go first into right atrium. When right atrium will compress, blood will come into right ventricle. Between this right atrium and right ventricle, there is tricuspid walls, right? From this right ventricle, it is sent to lungs to get oxygenated. From this lungs, from pulmonary veins, this blood from pulmonary vein, it comes, which is the pure blood, it comes into left atrium. From left atrium, it will come to left ventricle, and from left ventricle by aorta, it is sent to different body parts. So this will be a chart. Again, here the deoxygenated blood, I will try to explain like this. See, so the deoxygenated blood through vena cava, it enters into right atrium to right ventricle. Between that there will be tricuspid wall. Here between left atrium and left ventricle there will be bicuspid walls, right? These walls, it will not allow the blood to go from ventricle to atrium back. Okay, here in right ventricle also, this impure blood, it goes into lungs. In lungs, I am just showing you the path. In lungs, this blood will get purified and it go through pulmonary vein through left atrium. From left atrium, it will be sent to left ventricle, and from left ventricle, from aorta, so it is sent in different body part, right? So this way, this is the path of blood, and here you can see that this particular section of heart, if we want to consider the heart, so this is a particular section of heart which is divided into left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle, and here you can see that the blood has to come twice, right? 2 times blood has to come, so that is called a double circulation. So the impure blood, it passes through heart into lungs, that is first time, and when it get pure, then also the pure blood, it passes through heart to different part of body, right? So the impure blood from different part of body, it enters into heart. From heart it get purified, for that it goes to lungs. So first circulation, in lungs it will get purified, again it will come to heart, and from heart it is sent to different part of body. So this was our second circulation. So this way the circulation of blood in human beings is called double circulation. Now one more important fluid in our body, that is lymph. And what is this lymph? See, lymph is similar as the blood plasma, but lymph contains less amount of protein in it. So lymph have less protein present in it. What does lymph do? See, this lymph, for collection of lymph, it will also have a lymphatic system, and lymph is a fluid which is produced between space of cells. So it is an intercellular fluid. We can say this is important question, that which fluid is called intercellular fluid. So lymph is an intercellular fluid. So between cell it will get secreted, and it contains less protein. It is similar to blood plasma, but it will have less protein, right? So lymph is also the important fluid. It is called intercellular fluid. From the space between cells, it is collected, and it is also responsible for transportation of different nutrients, and it gives that nutrients back to oxygen, right? So this way, by blood and by lymph, our circulatory system is working.